So 6 cars, and without any doubt in my mind, 6 of the best cars we could find in this country at the moment. Right here at the Newcastle International Motordrome tonight for you and I. Steve Kinser and Dave Blaney from the United States make the front line of the grid. Jimmy Sills, Randy Kinser from the United States, the second line. At the back of the pack, Australia's George Tatnall and America's Danny Smith. 6 laps. 6 fast and furious laps. Wow, a Rodeo stand by Steve Kinser as he came out of the corner to take up the running. Jimmy Sills trying to go through on the inside. Look at George Tatnall blasting up on the inside of Dave Blaney, and look at him go. The Aussie Tatnall is out after the number 1 driver from the United States, Steve Kinser. Tatnall driving brilliantly tonight under the conditions here at the Motordrome, and look at the power of these cars. Steve Kinser in the Commodore 30s Gambler the leader, but Tatnall is after him, and Tatnall chasing very strongly indeed. He's trying to drive up on the inside of Steve Kinser. Kinser's got the lead, but Tatnall wants to nail him. He's chasing him hard. It's the United States champ Steve Kinser versus the Australian George Tatnall, and Tatnall has a crack at him on the inside, got the front wheel up as he bit into the dirt there too, and Kinser kicked away from him. Steve Kinser the leader, George Tatnall in second place, and chasing up after them then is Dave Blaney. Down back straight away, Tatnall will not give in. He will not let Kinser get away too far on him. Just 1 lap left to go. Can Tatnall get hold of Kinser? Kinser's the leader. Tatnall in second place, and then Blaney followed by Sills, Smith and Randy Kinser. Tatnall having a throw at Steve Kinser. The checkered flag is coming out. Kinser on the inside will hang on long enough, and Kinser is first. Tatnall is second. Then came Blaney, followed by Sills and Smith, and Randy Kinser brings up the rear. That's a race on the wild side as Steve Kinser takes out the Winfield Stars Trophy Dash. George Tatnall second, Bladen third, Sills fourth, and Smith fifth, and repeating a time of 6-lap time of 1:26.464. Well, how about that? A drive on the wild side for the American Steve Kinser. Steve, on behalf of our sponsors tonight, would you please accept that trophy and add to your no doubt increasing collection? That was one heck of a race because our Aussie boy, George Tatnall, chased you and chased you hard.
Well, George is running real good here. They said he ran away in the heat race and stuff, so I was running a pretty good pace and started on the front row, so I don't know. He must be a little quicker than I am.
He certainly came from the back of the pack and he chased hard. Just what is that track like? You're getting heaps of bite, I can see.
Well, it's it's got some ledges and stuff on it to tag a right rear every once in a while and then pop a front end, so we just need to settle it down a little bit. We had it loaded down with fuel, so it's going to go around all right, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
So it should be a very exciting feature with all the Americans there and our own George Tatnall and Bobby Tunks to make it just as hard.
It probably will be.
Congratulations on taking out the Trophy Dash. America's number 1, Steve Kinser. The drivers are under very difficult conditions. You spectators are under equally trying conditions. But we will make every endeavour to try and run the race. The rain comes pouring down. So that's a couple of laps, and perhaps we might see a start imminent situation. Yes, the yellow light has gone off, so a start could be possible this time round. Let's keep our fingers crossed in the hopes that we can see the full complement of 20 laps in our Winfield Sprint Car Masters. Packed with international drivers, 6 of them in total. And the green light is on and they are away, and Tatnall went straight to the lead. Let's have a look how they handle the first turn. The mud is flying. There's going to be a few vision problems going into that corner, but oh gee, Jimmy Sills got a bit of a split from the back. He was seeing all right. The man who's not going to have any problems, however, in the first couple of laps is George Tatnall. Danny Smith is getting up on the inside to go up into second place. Then Terry Becker running third. The rest of the cars seemingly handling the conditions all right, but look at this guy go. He's really hooked up tonight, George Tatnall, and he's in the lead. Danny Smith is running second, Terry Becker is third, Ken Worthington is fourth, and Bobby Tunks is fifth. But Tatnall, within the space of 2 laps, is already picking up the slower cars. Tatnall in the Winfield Racing Team car number 5 is the leader. Danny Smith in the white car number 3 is running second. And Tatnall's starting to weave his way through the pack, but Danny Smith is now camped right behind him, and in fact over the top of him. Oh, and he's popped the tyre as well. Danny Smith's popped the tyre on the inside, and he's still going. Danny Smith has popped the tyre, and he'll have to go out of the race, surely. The inside tyre is flat. He's just running on the rim. Terry Becker is running second. Kev Worthington is third. Jason McMillan fourth, and Steve Kinser is fifth. But Danny Smith has a flat tyre. He's got a flat tyre on the inside, and he's still going. He's only running on 3 tyres. The smoke's pouring off it. He's running on 3 tyres and a rim, Danny Smith, with the smoke pouring out of the inside tyre. Danny Smith being black flagged from the race because of that tyre problem. But I don't think he can see it. He's still going, Smith. Terry Becker gets through on the inside of him now to move up into a clear second place. And there's Smith going for the spin around and is bringing the race to a halt. So George Tatnall will come back to the field and is already starting to lap cars. By gee, I've never seen Tatnall in form like he's in tonight. He's reveling in the conditions, and he's been that way all night. And he's showing them a clean pair of heels tonight, George Tatnall, in the Winfield Racing car number 5. Bad luck for Danny Smith, who popped the tyre when he collided with Tatnall, trying to slide through on the inside of him. Smith saw an opportunity to try and get the lead, but he touched with Tatnall. He bounced up into the air, and when he landed back down on the track, he popped the tyre. So Becker will have moved up into second place, and McMillan and Worthington and Steve Kinser are not that far behind. And as Tatnall comes back to them, it'll give them a golden opportunity to take the lead away from the flying Tatnall. But they really will have to be going tonight. George Tatnall in top form. Tatnall is back to the field, but he still has front running in the Winfield Racing car number 5. There's the green. Tatnall races back to the lead. Interesting battle will be in second place now as Steve Kinser goes through on the inside of Worthington. Kinser gets up to 4th. Haddard leaving the track, but getting back on all right. Now Jason McMillan, the American, drives his way up into second place. Becker is running third. Steve Kinser is 4th. Kev Worthington is in 5th place, but look at Steve Kinser starting to get wound up. He's moved up into a clear 3rd place. So it's the Australian George Tatnall. Jason McMillan out in the heavy stuff, and Steve Kinser got a lot closer to him. They really are bouncing their way round. Kinser gets through on the inside of McMillan, who drifted up. So look out, George Tatnall. Here comes Steve Kinser. Kinser is up into a clear second place, but Tatnall's got a lead of about 200 metres on him at the moment. So we'll see whether Steve Kinser can make up 200 metres on George Tatnall within the space of 9 laps, and I don't think he can do that, just depending on how George Tatnall can make his way through the slower traffic, which he's catching up to right now. This will give Kinser the opportunity to get Tatnall in his sights. Tatnall hasn't been able to pick up any of those slower cars, and Kinser is rapidly closing the gap on him. Tatnall having trouble getting past the slower cars. Moves to the outside, got bogged right down in the heavy stuff. And Kinser's getting closer to Tatnall. He's got Tatnall in his sights now, Kinser. Tatnall having trouble getting past the slower cars, and Kinser is right with him. So it's Tatnall, Kinser and McMillan. Tatnall trying to come through on the inside of the slower Queenslander. That's Casadas. Tatnall and Kinser past one of the slower cars. McMillan is running third. Then comes the 54 car of Tunks and the 55 car of Becker. But look at this battle for the lead between Tatnall and Kinser. Tatnall in the Winfield car number 5, and Steve Kinser, the World of Outlaws champ from the United States. Only 3 laps to go. Can George Tatnall hang on? Steve Kinser is getting closer to him. He's trying to put himself into a challenging position. Still it's Tatnall. Kinser getting up high now and looking for some drive. Tatnall got hooked up in the loose stuff. He's still the leader. Kinser is diving at him. He's trying for an outside pass, Kinser. Now he hooks back onto the inside. And Jason McMillan not that far behind either. Here's Kinser trying to drive round the outside of Tatnall. Tatnall and Kinser. Kinser looking for the outside. Tatnall's down low. There's only half a lap to go. Can the Australian George Tatnall hang on? Here's Kinser coming at him on the outside. Tatnall on the inside. Who's going to get there? Tatnall wins. Tatnall is first. Kinser is second. And McMillan is third. Then came Bobby Tunks in 4th place. But the Australian George Tatnall has done it. He's taken out the feature. Kinser is second. And McMillan is third. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mother Nature has held off just long enough for us to complete the 20 laps of the Winfield International Masters feature. Again, on behalf of the Winfield Company and the officials tonight, I want to thank you very much for your tolerance, because we have been hampered somewhat with the track conditions, and we wanted to try and make the race as safe for the competitors as possible and as attractive for you, the spectators, as possible. And I'm sure you've really thoroughly enjoyed that feature. And no better way to wrap it up than an Aussie boy to lead the Yankees home. Stepping into the number 1 spot in the Winfield Racing number 5, George Tatnall. It's my pleasure, George, on behalf of the Winfield Company, to ask you to accept the number 1 trophy and our sincere congratulations on taking out what has been a tremendous feature race under some trying conditions.
Yes, thanks very much, Ross. It has been a pretty hard night for Peter and Merv and all the track officials, but the track held up really well after we got the water off it, and I hope the fans out there enjoyed the racing. But Alan Felsh, Joe and Brooke and Johnny and Ronnie, they did a hell of a job on the car. It's a brand new car, and it's going to be pretty fast when we get it ready to go, get it really going. And we're fortunate enough tonight that we started up in front of Steve, but like, he's the best in the world and he's really hard to race with, and I'm really glad that we beat him. You know, after 3 years, this is the first one that we beat him home with.
George, you've tried so hard over the last few meetings here at the Motordrome to get things right. I have said a number of occasions tonight, and I'll say it to you right now, I've not seen you in the form that I've seen you tonight. Everything just seems to be hooked up tremendously.
Yeah, Alan's been trying all new things with the car. It's the third meeting with it, and you know, it's we still don't know all about it yet, but it's going to be a very fast car when we get it right. Now, I like Newcastle. We don't have much luck here. We've been quick on a lot of occasions. We've always ended up upside down or crashed out of the features, and tonight a couple of times there I thought in the feature race we're going to come undone again, but fortunately we got out of it all right.
George, again, on behalf of the Winfield Company, congratulations on taking out the Winfield International Masters. A very popular win. From America, he almost got there, right on the line, but he has to be content with second tonight. On behalf of the Winfield Company, Steve Kinser, congratulations. Please accept the number 2 trophy. It almost was the number 1.
Well, I don't know. George wouldn't have got behind them lap cars. He'd have been long gone anyway. So that's all he did was just help me catch up a little bit and gave me a shot at him. And we didn't get around him. He ran a good race, and it's good to have a good close race like that.
Well, I've been complimentary of the crowd tonight. They've been very tolerant, but I'm also very complimentary of you drivers too. They've been trying conditions, and you turned on for us one hell of a feature.
Well, that's what we're all here for, to try to put on a good race for the people, and we just hope you enjoyed it.
We certainly did. Second place to Steve Kinser, and third place to a guy we're seeing in action here and enjoying his driving. On behalf of the Winfield Company, Jason McMillan, please accept third place trophy in our international feature tonight.
Yeah, this is a great little speedway, and it took me all night to get the car going because it was my first night here, but I had a blast.
Well, you said a little earlier on that it was a tight track. It's not normally like this, and we hope to see you back here. If you've thoroughly enjoyed that sort of racing tonight, we can look forward to some great performances from you in the upcoming weeks.
All right, I look forward to coming back to a real great racetrack. Thank you.